1974, a Youngstown State history professor thought it was a good idea to start interviewing people, the famous and the not so famous, as a way to preserve their recollections of the past. 50 years later, over 2,300 people have been interviewed, their story saved on tape. Tonight, the story of YSU's oral history collection. Here's First News anchor Stan Boney.
Susan Lowry, the archivist at the Youngstown Historical Center of Industry and Labor, is responsible for preserving the 2,356 cassette tapes in boxes on shelves in the corner of the second floor.
Crucible Steel Project, I'm not sure what that is.
There are extensive interviews with people associated with the steel industry, like former Struthers Mayor Anthony Senafani, on the closing of the Camel Works.
And it was devastating. I mean, informing that they were closing and would affect 10,000 employees. And it was really just was earth-shaking.
You know, everybody's got a story, and it's important to get those stories.
Retired YSU history professor Donna DeBlasio started doing interviews shortly after Professor Hugh Earnhardt started the oral history program in 1974. Earnhardt created an oral history class, which kept the interviews coming in.
I think it's one of the largest regional oral history programs. It's probably the largest in the state of Ohio.
We have a handful of cassette tapes of interviews done regarding the tornado of 1985.
The oral history program has interviews on a wide variety of topics. In 1989, Camel's Edward Stonework discussed race relations.
Why would a man hate another man just because he's Greek or Italian or black or blue or yellow? I could never understand that.
So these are the transcripts.
A 10-minute walk from the Steel Museum on the 5th floor of YSU's Mogg Library are the transcripts of all the interviews lined up chronologically in folders. There's a history of Mill Creek Park and an interview with Warren Williamson, the founder of WKBN. YSU curator Cassie Nesper has digitally transferred most of the interviews, which can now be heard and read online.
These are first-person accounts of very local events and people and organizations that would never be the subject of a full-length book that's published by a PhD.
Among Nesper's favorite topics, women and appliances, like Elizabeth Swope talking in 1985 about getting her first freezer.
You couldn't keep things like we do now in these, you know, with a freezer and all this, what nobody even heard of a freezer, you know.
YSU recently cut its graduate program in history, so the oral history course was cut as well. The interviews are no longer being done on a regular basis, and those being done are recorded digitally, which makes the cassette tapes even more valuable. Susan Lowry will not allow anyone to listen to them.
To me, when I look at these tapes, they're fragile. I'm even afraid to touch them.
Is there anything that you'd like to add?
No. Not that I can think of.
No. Okay. Well, that seems to be about it.
Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Watson. Thanks for watching the WKBN 27 First News YouTube channel. If you want more video news, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the WKBN 27 First News app for breaking news alerts.